What's up, Rule Breakers? No Policies here, and today we are here with week 1 of the CSML. Now, week 1 is going to be against the Syracuse Sylveons, coached by EnteiTainment, one of the better battlers in the league, in my opinion. He's a huge threat. Now, of course, I've already played my battle, so this will be post-commentary, but I will want to share with you my sets for this week and just show you my thought process going into it. So, pretty much, I brought a Scarf Victini. EnteiTainment has Kyurem Black, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Talonflame, Nidoking, Scrafty, Hitmontop, Piloswine, Aggron, I believe, I can't remember the rest. Not really important. He didn't bring the other ones. I'm just gonna let you know that. So, kind of just give you a gist. He didn't bring, I don't think he brought any of his PU threats. But, anyway, so we brought Scarf Victini. Kyurem Black is one of the top-tier threats in draft format. One of the best Pokemon. It was actually the first Pokemon to go, since EnteiTainment was the first to draft. Not really the best point to draft. It's really good first pick. And then, if you know, in our tiering system, it was really good for the first few picks. But then after that, it was like, oh, because now I have to wait all the way to the end to do that. Yes, you get the wheel pick, but it's like, do I really want that? Because I can't really get that first pick. I get like 20th pick or something like that. But anyway, Victini's Scarf, kind of my check to Scarf Kyurem Black. Unfortunately, V-Create does not kill the Kyurem Black, but after I can get up rocks with Crustle, it shall be able to. Of course, assuming he's not defensive. Running Bolt Strike for Toxapex, Talonflame. Talonflame, it can be a threat. I was originally running Zen Headbutt, but Bolt Strike hit harder. So, yes, I could have run Zen Headbutt for something like Hitmontop, but it was like, do I really want to do that? Not really. U-Turn's really just for momentum, and Dazzling Gleam is really there just for Scrafty. That's why I have a little bit of special attack investment and Sped Crap, so I could have just a little bit more firepower when I was hitting with Dazzling Gleam. And that really just allowed me to check Dragon Dancer bulk up Scrafty a lot better, which I really don't know why he didn't bring. You'll see that he didn't bring it in the battle, but either way. Landorus is going to have the Flying Z with Earthquake Fly, Stone Edge, and Rock Polish. It is a Rock Polish set with Adamant Nature. I originally ran a Swords Dance set, but I didn't really think that fit, and any Scarfmons would be a problem to Landorus. So Rock Polish allows me to outspeed any Scarfmon on his team. He's Kyurem, can't outspeed me. I am invested to outspeed a Nidoking. If he's not Scarf, if he's just timid and he's like Life Orb or something. So that's a good thing. And I wanted a little bit of defense investment just so that I could be able to live a few more hits from like a, say a Scrafty or a Hitmontop or something along those lines. But anyway, Earthquake is stab. It's great. This pretty much hits his entire team. It's an amazing set. And this allows me to really just hit everything on his team. And Fly really allows me to hit the Scrafty and the Hitmontop. And, Fly MZ make it Supersonic Sky Strike, which Fly really won't come in handy unless it's like a 1-beat, just like he has like one last mine. It's like, okay, just going to kill it. Or both of his Pokemon that are left are weak to Flying type and can't really have any switch-ins that would be detrimental to me. So anyway, Durant is my next one. Now, we're actually running Thunderfang for the Toxapex. Now, a lot of people would be kind of surprised by this. You wouldn't think that Durant gets Thunderfang. It gets a lot of odd moves. It gets like Rock Climb, Rock Tomb, which I also could have run for Talonflame. But Thunderfang also allowed me to hit the Talonflame and also the Toxapex. So it's pretty low power move, but I mean it's electric type, allows me to hit the Toxapex for huge damage. And when I say huge, I mean like 50%, even with like max HP, max defense, bold. That's how insane this thing how hard this thing hits. This thing is jolly too, so it's not even adamant, and it still hits like a truck. We are invested to outspeed a Kyurem non-Scarf, just because, I mean, there was no point, because his next fastest mine is Talonflame, and I can't outspeed that, even if it's not jolly, so I just decided, you know what, let's just run this speed, and defense is really just resting in defense. And this allows me to take a lot more hits because I have no recovery, so being more defensive allows me to take a lot of hits. We are Hone Claw, so Exeter and Ironhead just for stab and to hit a lot of his team very hard. And Thunderfang is, well, as I already explained. Next up, we have Bob Leftover since Custop is not available. I really should have run speed on this, but that's whatever. We run a lot of special defense, so this allows us to take a few more skulls from a Toxapex, in which we wouldn't normally be able to take as well. This allows us to just take a lot of hits and a little bit of defense. We just have very natural defensive bulk. Sturdy's just there because why would you run weak armor or shell armor? It's very situational, so I do think Stealth Rocks, we are Stealth Rock Spikes kind of lead. Toxic, I had Earthquake originally, but I really just don't think that was, yes, I could have run it, but, you know, for, like, Toxapex or something, but, I really just think, I don't know, Toxic just allowed me to whittle things down a little bit more. Next up, we have Life Orb Hitmonchan. Now, this is a really odd spread. I originally had Earthquake, but I wanted Protect, and Rapid Spin really helps to remove hazards, especially since, you know, we got Victini, we got, like, pretty much everything on my team is weak to rocks, except this thing. So, Drain Punch is really just for really hard-hitting fighting-type coverage. With Iron Fist, it's even boosted more. Mach Punch hits really hard. Its priority allows me to 2-hit KO the Kyurem. With Stab, fighting-type coverage, with Life Orb boosted, Iron Fist boosted, really good there. And while it's annoying that we don't have Earthquake for something like Toxapex or things like that, it really helps out just to remove hazards. And Protect was there for high jump kick, Scrafty. This allowed me to protect, scout out, and it also allows me to scout out any move my opponent wants to go for. This is really risky, especially against Kyurem or something like that, because if it goes for a sub, I could be screwed. So Protect is really situational, but it would allow me to come in on a Scrafty. I can actually take a high jump kick. That's why I'm so defensively invested instead of specially defensive. So we can take a high jump kick, and not at +1, but just a normal high jump kick. But that's only Jolly too. So it's very, again, situational, but hopefully Protect was just allowed me to get that Protect off and then retaliate with Mach Punch, even if he had a Dragon Dance up. And finally, we have Mr. Freeze returning from the CSLL, but now in its Kyurem form, not Kyurem Black. We work Choice Specs, and we do have Psychic for the Toxapex. Hits so hard. This thing is a hard hitter and can really just kill things. It, like, 2-hit KOs almost everything on his team. Ice Beam is there for the Tangrowth, really just for great stab damage. It really hits almost everything on his team neutral, barring, like, Aggron or something, or, like, you know, Piloswine with Thick Fat, which, you know. But Psychic hits pretty hard. Really, a lot of his team, Hitmontop, Toxapex, Draco's there for really good stab, and Focus Blast is there for Scrafty and Piloswine. However, you'll see this doesn't really come in handy. But, you know, we are timid just so we can potentially speed tie like a Choice Specs or Choice Banded, Jolly or Timid. Just pretty much any speed boosting Kyurem that is at max speed. That is not Scarf. Just wanted to make sure I can speed tie that. Yes, I could have run Modest, and that would have been much harder hitting. But that is A-okay. Moving on. So let's go to the battle. So here's going to be the battle. As you can see, I brought the team that we got there, and he brings Kyurem Black, Toxapex, Talonflame, Piloswine, Nidoking, and Hitmontop. A little odd that he didn't bring Scrafty. I really think it did a lot to my team. Even if, you know, I had, like, you know, Hitmonchan or something like that, or just a lot of things some things to counteract it. I really think he should have brought the Scrafty. So, yes, he does bring the Kyurem Black. I was almost positive he'd bring that. Pretty sure he'd bring the Piloswine. I made a lot of edits later on just because of the Piloswine. Because I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this thing would destroy my team if I didn't have any checks for it, which I originally didn't. So, anyway, let's get it right into the battle. First up, he sends out Nidoking, and I lead Bob. My thought process is just get up rocks, really limit his switch-ins to really anything. This would pretty much allow him to, just, you know, yeah. I didn't know if he was a Stealth Rocks or, like, a Scarf or Life Orb Nidoking. So I stayed in, even if he was Life Orb, Earth Power didn't kill me. So I was like, okay, might as well just get up my rocks, kind of pressure him a little bit. It actually just 51%, which I believe he's Scarf. I'm pretty sure he was Scarf. But that is not Life Orb damage. So unless he was like E-Belt or something, I'm pretty sure that was Scarf. And the fact you'll see later is that it kind of leads me to believe he was Scarf. So anyway, I just get up my rocks, pretty safe. It really just allows me to get that lefties recovery. So he's actually going to switch out into his Hitmontop just to rapid spin off the stuff, or the rocks. And I actually go into my Landorus, thinking he was Scarf. And also, like, if he was Scarf, then he really wouldn't be able to do anything to me anyway. But I was really making a risky play here, because if he wasn't Scarf, then he could have gone for Ice Beam. So it's kind of risky, but anyway, he goes out into his Hitmontop and rapid spins. Now, this is actually where a misclick. Now, I don't know if this really matters in the long run, but I actually clicked Supersonic Sky Strike here, because I was like, you know what, I think it really, because I would always kill Hitmontop even when he's max HP, max defense, which he actually doesn't end up being. He actually ends up max HP, max like special defense, or around very close to max, because you'll see later some calcs and stuff. But I go for Rock Polish, and I originally clicked Rock Polish, and I was like, okay, I'll click Rock Polish, so that if he goes in like Kyurem or something, then I can outspeed that even if it's Scarf, and take that out with a Stone Edge, or a Talonflame, or something along those lines. So, I go for Rock Polish, I'm like, oh, dang, that's a misclick, but that's alright. I mean, it kind of sucks later on, but he goes for the Rapid Spin, as I thought. Kind of a safe Rock Polish there. And I actually was like, okay, so he really wouldn't risk, he should really expect a Fly or Supersonic Sky Strike, since that's pretty common on Landorus T. So I was like, okay, he probably might expect me to go for the Fly. So he probably expected me to be a special Landorus, because he really didn't, because, like, I went for the Stone Edge here. I think he was going to go Talonflame, and he doesn't, and I missed. It's alright. It would have done, like, 10% anyway, so it was like, don't really matter. So I ended up going for the Supersonic Sky Strike now. He actually goes into Talonflame now. So I go for Supersonic Sky Strike, and I take out the Talonflame. So I was like, alright, so at least we take out the Talonflame. Really nice there. So get that out of the way. And so he sent in his Piloswine. I cannot risk him going for the Ice Shard. I would not do that. So I go right in my Hitmonchan. He cannot really touch me. And by that Ice Shard damage, I believe he's not attack invested. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch here, get off some damage. I know he's probably going to go into the Toxapex or Nidoking. Even then, I still think it's pretty safe. If I had Earthquake, this would be so much easier. But he goes into the Toxapex. I was like, yeah, that does very little. It does like 17%. A little bit of chip, allowing some of my other Pokemon like Kyurem to be able to take that out much easier. So I switch out and I go into Kyurem. He's going to go for the Scald. And unfortunately, while it does 8%, he gets a Burn. Luckily, Burn has been nerfed, so it does a lot less than it normally would. So, a little bit of chip there, and I'm going to go for the Psychic, and that's going to do a heck of a lot. And we get the Special Defense drop, which doesn't really matter since I still would be able to take him out at this range, because it would be a roll, but I would still be able to take him out, and I don't think he would risk that. So, he's going to go in the Piloswine. We actually get a crit with Psychic, and that actually matters a lot in the long run, because it does allow me to do something later. So I go into my Durant, and he's just going to go for the Stealth Rocks. I was like, alright, that's fine. So my Durant is at full health, and he's going to go into Hitmontop. Now when I said Durant hits like a truck, I was not kidding. So he gets the Intimidate off. I go for the Iron Head, and this is where I realize he's not defensive, because that Iron Head did 60%. 60%. That is insanity. James sanity. That's a -1 Iron Head, too. Just want to point that out. That's from a Hitmontop 2, which has very high defenses. So, really, really great. It's an amazing hit right there. So, anyway, I knew he was going to switch out, but I really, but he actually goes for the Fake Out. A little bit odd, not immediately odd, but goes for the Fake Out there. I was like, oh, is he trying to get a little bit more lefties recovery? So, I really just was like, alright, let's just take out this Hitmontop, get it over with. Don't really feel like, because if I go for Iron Head or Ike Scissor, even then, it's still going to hit the Toxapex the same. So I was debating going Thunderfang, but I was just going, you know what, let's just go Iron Head. And even if this would probably do a heck of a lot to it wouldn't do the heck of a lot. He is max HP, max defense, bold, as we found out, I believe. I don't even remember. I think with Hitmontop's Drain Punch, because that was like a min roll, I think, and it would have done nothing less if he wasn't bold. Maybe it was like some weird defensive spread, but anyway, I go for the Iron Head. I'm like, alright, that misses. So I stayed in, and I was like, oh, alright, you know what? I think I just want some chip damage off. So I decided to go for the Thunder Fang. We missed that too. That is alright, though. He goes for the Scald, hoping and praying for the burn, and he doesn't get it. So I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, so I can save Durant, and I go into my Hitmonchan, and I was like, alright, I gotta get these rocks away. He goes for the Scald, no burn. Awesome. So I get my Rapid Spin off. Awesome. Rocks are away. Take a little bit of Life Orb chip damage. He goes for the Scald, and I'm at pretty low health, but he doesn't burn me. So I actually can take one more Scald. But I decided to switch out here because I'm like, you know, I don't really want to stay in there. So I sent him my Crustle, and he's going to go for the Scald. Not quite going to take me out. Also, no burn. Now, I actually do naturally outspeed Toxapex, so I found this a great opportunity to set up my rocks. So I decided to set up my rocks right here, and he, of course, predicts that, and he goes into his Hitmontop. So I was like, you know what? I still want to go for rocks, because this allows me to get a free switch, or relatively free switch, into really whatever I want. So he's, of course, going to go for the Rapid Spin, and I go right back into my, oh, no, I actually go into Victini. Forgot about that. So, this is actually kind of a misplay on my part. I really think I should have Toxic'd here. I really don't think I probably should have gone into Victini, but I was like, I kind of regretted it right after I went into it. I was like, I can't even kill this thing. That was such a rash play. He wasn't max defense, but it still meant that I wasn't going to kill him with V-Create. At least not without a close combat. So I was like, alright, I gotta get some chip damage off at least. So I go for the U-turn, hopefully gain some chip damage off on this Hitmontop. It does 12%. I was like, alright, that's fine. So I go into my Landorus because I'm like, this thing does not get Ice Punch. He cannot hit me for anything super effective. I mean, he can, but actually, can he? I don't think he can. I mean, go for like, yeah. So he can't go for, he cannot hurt me. He can go for, he can like HP Ice or HP Water, but that would do even almost less than close combat. It does a little bit more, but, so that close combat does very little, and I actually kill him from an Earthquake, with an Earthquake at this range. So I expect him to switch out, and at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Why not Earthquake? So I go for the Earthquake, and we get a load of damage off on that Toxapex. He's like, oh, John. So, get a load of damage off on that Toxapex, and I actually switch, predicting him to, wanted to switch out into his, Hitmon. Well, oh yeah. Because, like, I knew he would want to go back into his Hitmontop, because I can EQ him, but he can, get my attack drop. He doesn't have the defense drops anymore. So, at this point, he can live 2 Earthquakes, and he can do some switch out shenanigans and, you know, keep intimidating me. So I decided to go into Mr. Freeze and just stop it all. So I decided to go into Mr. Freeze, and as I did earlier, I have Psychic. So he's gonna go for the Fake Out, get a little bit of chip, and with the burn damage, I am losing some health pretty rapidly. So I go for the Draco, because actually Psychic does not kill, so I have to go for the Draco, and no, he has no switch-ins for it. So down goes the Dreidel, spinning and spinning. And so he's going to send in the Toxapex. Draco still does 50%. Actually, no. Because he was, even Bold, I still think it does like 40-something% at -2. Pretty insane. So I'm like, alright, you know what? I'm just going to sack my Crustle. I have no use for it anymore. I can maybe, if he doesn't go for Skull, maybe for Recovers or something like that, then, if he recovers, then I can hopefully get off another Stealth Rocks, and if he doesn't, well, then I just sack my Crustle. And he goes for the Skull, and I sack my Crustle. That's fine. So I go right out. I believe I go right back out in my Kyurem. Yep, I do. So I go right back out into Kyurem. I'm going to Psychic here, and he has to go for a Recover. And if he doesn't, well, he's going to die next turn. So I get a little bit more burn chip, and he's actually going to switch out, and I would expect this, but I was actually expecting him to go out and do Piloswine. And I was actually debating this. I'm like, alright, he's probably going to go out into Piloswine. He knows I'm Specs. So I'm just going to go for Psychic, because Psychic's still 2-hit KOs, and that's where that crit really mattered, because if I didn't get that, then this Psychic would not be able to 2-hit KO, and he would be able to, yeah, so he'd be able to do that, and he'd be able to, kill me with, like, maybe Rock Slide or something. I don't know. 33%. It does do, like, a third, but I still think it wouldn't have killed. He's going to go for the Ice Shard to get some last little bit of chip, and it doesn't kill me. It does very little, and I'm very close to dead. He's going to go into his Toxapex, and I'm like, you know what? He's probably going to just kill me off here, so I want to get as much damage off as possible. If he recovered, then I can kill him next turn, and I think it was just in his best interest to just kill my Kyurem, because yeah. At this point, even if he recovers, I can still have a good chance to kill his Toxapex, because if I get that special defense drop, which I got 2 times before, I don't think he could have risked that. Like, yes, he could have recovered, but I could have easily just gone right out into my, like, say, Landorus or something. I mean, he could have. I mean, I got 72% roll, but I was getting low rolls the entire game, mid to low rolls. So I got into my Landorus. I can kill him with Earthquake at this point. He has no switch-ins for it, so he just decides to sack his Toxapex. I was like, I respect that play 100%, because if he went into his Kyurem before, then he would have taken 50% from an EQ. And as you can see from the spread, you can see EQ. Now, I didn't want to risk a Stone Edge miss. I would have done 70%, but I didn't want to risk that. And you'll see, like, I could have gone for Mach Punch, like, put him in range of, like, Mach Punch. This is close to Mach Punch range. I believe it does, like, 58 to 54. It's close, but it's not quite enough. So, I just let him take me out with the Dragon Pulse. I'm pretty sure he was the Dragonum Z. As you can see, I outsped him, even though I was, like, 295 speed. And I mean, I can't outspeed a non-timid Kyurem, so he's getting over the Dragon Pulse. I'm pretty sure he's probably Specs, honestly. And I could have gotten a much better differential. But you know what happens? I miss an Iron Head. This pissed me off. Yes, I still win at this point. Spoilers. I didn't really realize that until, like, after. I was like, oh god, I think I might lose this. But he misses Iron Head. So Flick is a complete waste of a team space, because apparently he missed 2 Iron Heads out of 3, which is completely garbage. So we could have killed this Kyurem. The reason I said Endurant was because, like, well, if my Landorus outspeeds it, then of course Flick is going to outspeed it. So Flick misses the Iron Head. Awful, awful, awful. Because I could have killed this Kyurem, even if he sent out his Nidoking. Then I could have gone into Victini and then just killed off the Nidoking. So essentially, what I have to do now, so he's gonna avoid the attack, goes for Dragon Pulse, and he's gonna kill me. Pretty sure he's Specs, because I don't know, maybe he didn't want to reveal any other moves. So I go into my Hitmonchan, and he makes a great double out into his Nidoking. I was like, oh, that's such a great play. I should have thought of that before. And I really have no other choice, since this thing is Scarf, to just go for another Mach Punch and chip it down as much as I can before he just kills me with Earth Power. So at this point, I knew it could take it out, but I was like, ah. Now if his Kyurem was Scarf, I lost at this point. So I go for the V-Create, and I get the speed drop, but I am Scarf, so I realize, oh wait, I get the speed drop. If I'm Scarf, I'm just going to be 317 speed, or 318 speed, and I will still be able to outspeed the Kyurem, and I'll be able to win. So, I was like, so, take out the Kyurem, awesome, awesome stuff, and we are able to pull out the close 1-0 victory. Now, next week, we're going for blood, guys. Our next week is going to be against James Sandy, one of my good friends, and the person that actually introduced me to the CSL. I actually did not know of it. He was actually the person that introduced me to Draft League format battling. He didn't introduce me to competitive battling. He's not, he's not the, like, I mean, he is a great friend, and he's an awesome dude. But yeah, next week we face him. And I really hope it's going to be a hype match. No matter who wins or loses, I'm really hyped for the CSL and glad to be in it. So I'm just glad I won my first game. I don't care that I got a 1-0. I might have said I was like, oh, I was really pissed. I mean, honestly, I just want to prove myself. It's my first day. Not my first. It's my first season in the CSML. So I really just want to prove myself. And props to EnteiTainment. For putting up a great fight. Yeah, there are a few plays. Well, he made great plays. I think it was just the prep that kind of lost him the match. I feel like, I mean, maybe he had his own. He probably had his own reasoning. So I'm not going to question it. You'd have to consult with him. But I really, you know, I don't really know why you didn't bring Scrafty or Scarf Kyurem. The Scarf Kyurem destroyed my team. I was so scared of it. But yeah, so I definitely think some of the team building was a little odd. But, you know, I don't know his entire spread. So he did bring Scarf Nidoking, but I don't really think that's a check to Scarf Victini. He should have probably prepped for that better. But no matter what, we still barely pulled out a victory, just showing that he's an amazing battler, and it really, you know, I really respect the dude. So, hopefully we can pull out a W next week too. But I really just hope for close honestly, if we get close battles, I cannot complain, especially if they don't have hacks. There've been like very few games in my life that I've never like actually gotten hacks in a battle. Or the other person hasn't gotten hacked. So I really just hope for some clean, nice victories on either side. And if it's clean, then I can't complain. There's nothing I can complain about. I got the miss with Iron Head, which would have saved the differential. But I also got the crit with Psychic. So that really put him in a bad spot. So, you know, it really all just depends. Sorry about the hacks, but, you know, it happens. But yeah, so anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and comment. With that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I do the exact same thing I said before because I completely forgot and I just blanked for a second. But I'll see you guys in the next video. So see ya later. Bye.